Hello and welcome to another episode of Tactical Tips. And this week we're getting ready for the end of the year. I know everybody, it's been a long year. It's been a long 2 or 3 years, but here we go. So Tactical Tips brought to you by the Independent Dealer Podcast and our great folks at NEO. As I've been telling you, underwriting is so key to any business, really. If you're financing or if you're selling products, you've got to have some type of financing. And underwriting is so key to everything. And to have a good plan for underwriting, you got to have a partner, either with a spreadsheet or, in our case, with NEO. NEO helps us get the job done, takes the human element out of it, and really is just a great product. So go check them out. So it's tax planning time, everybody. The first week of December, everybody's looking forward to the end of the year. But what we really need to be concerned with is how are we going to pay all those taxes out of due if we made money this year? Or if we didn't make any money, how are we going to make money next year by being tax advantageous right now? So 6 tips. The last one is a really easy tip. So it's 5 tips plus one that everybody needs to do. So have a written plan for your tax planning and work the plan. So this is going to take some effort from you. You're going to have to get everything together and you're going to have to get with your CPA, write everything down, because if it's not written down, it's really just not a plan. It's just there. So have a written plan, work the plan. 2, this one might be a little difficult and you may have to get somebody involved or really get to work and figure out your business, your books. Reconcile your books every month because it's very important. Books are super, super important, and the balance sheet is where it matters. You can look at your P&L and it may tell you you're making a lot of money, but if you haven't reconciled everything on your balance sheet, unfortunately, you may have things there that are showing up on your P&L that makes you think you're making a lot of money, or maybe not making as much money as you really are. And this could be very, very dicey in the end, because at that point you won't know how much money you've been making. Number 3, have an industry-specific CPA. We've talked about this many times in the podcast, and it is so important, especially in the car business. And in segments within the car business, a buy here, pay here specific CPA is different than a new car specific CPA, which is different than a retail specific CPA. Find out who's the best in your industry and use them. 4th thing, you need to know the basics of the tax code of your industry. And once you know the basis of that tax code, there will be advantages for you. And you got to take advantage of those advantages. And you also need to learn where you can take advantages and where you can't. So this goes back to knowing that CPA who is specific to your industry. Talk with him, get a good feeling, and every year brush up on what's going on. Things change from year to year with tax code. Your CPA will have the latest information and should be giving that to you so you know during the year how to work it to your advantage. Number 5, and this is something we always talk about, and that's reinsurance, especially if you're in the car business. And there's actually other industries that use reinsurance as well. And there's always tax advantages for that reinsurance. And it's something that can be taken advantage of here at the end of the year. All kind of products, all kind of services that you can do to save you tax money in the end and also end up being a profit center for your dealership or your business. So make sure you're taking full advantage of all your reinsurance needs. Number 6, and again, this is just something that I threw out there. It's the last tip, but it's the most important tip. Pay your taxes. So important. You could go through all year and you're making all this money and you're reinvesting all this money in your business, you're buying new inventory, you're doing all this. And at the end of the year, once you've had this talk with your CPA, the CPA goes, well, because you didn't pay your quarterlies, now you owe $1 million in taxes. I don't know about you, but I don't have $1 million laying around to pay the federal government. They're going to get theirs. So make sure you're paying as you go. Make sure you're not surprised. If you are surprised, you're going to be in trouble. So hopefully these are useful to you and you get to work this week on tax preparing because it is so important to your business. Have a great week and we'll see you next week.